I've been thinking about leveling frets. Leveling frets. Do a fret job. Got to do it on this guitar here. I don't think there's anything inside of there. This is that Martin Triple Aught 28. And been thinking about this, and I thought, you know, you've probably leveled frets before yourself. If you have, you probably did it wrong. So I'm going to get you and bring you over here now and show you the right way to do it, or the way I do it. I'm not saying it's the right way. I will say it's the way I do it now, after thinking about it all this time. I've been doing it this way for a while. I didn't always do it this way. Let me bring you over and I'll explain better what I'm talking about. And we'll get into it. Let's do it! Do it! Welcome back, folks. Alright. If you ever leveled frets on a guitar, you probably did it wrong. I used to do it wrong too. And that's the way you learn. I mean, years ago I did it wrong. I'm going to show you the proper way to do it. I'm going to hold you here through all this. I'm just going to explain it to you. Now I got to get started on this. First thing you want to know is what the radius of that fretboard is. I think this is a 16. And it is a 16. Yeah, I'm just holding this on there, shining a light back here through it, and if I can't see any light come out, like right there, let me get it on there straight, you shouldn't be able to see any light right now. I'm shining it right on the crack. Okay? This is important. A lot of luthiers will just take a, they'll just start grinding these flat until they're level, as it says. You don't have to do that. I'll try to explain, man. I don't know if I can. If you, let's say you have a divot under your second string up here at the 3rd fret, okay? Maybe you have a divot on the 4th fret and the 5th one under the 2nd string, and that's the only place that you need fixed, okay? Well, you take a big file and you start leveling these out completely level till that disappears. When you do that, you're removing fret material from the top of the radius that don't need to be removed. You're wasting that fret material. Now the way I do it, the way I've been doing it, is I use a radius block. I have a 16 here with very, very rough sandpaper on it there. I know that's a 16. And, you know, if there was a divot under the 2nd string on those 3 or 4 fret, 5 frets, whatever, then I could just start using this until the divot disappeared. And it won't take any more than necessary off of these back here. I might even work in that area, but try to keep them, you know, level with each other. You know what I mean? Consistent with each other. You'd have to do the whole fretboard, but you wouldn't be removing all of the fret material in the very center of your radius that doesn't need removed. You're leveling this down flat with this, even though you have a radius in the board, and it's the 16. I'll show you how much of a radius that is. It's this one right here. That's not very much radius, but that's what this guitar has. So you have that in the board, keep it. You know, you don't want to take a big sanding thing and start sanding, you know, and sanding them till they're completely level, as it says, because you're removing way more material in the highest part of the radius than you ever need to. Okay, so that's that. And I gotta go get my fretboard protectors. You can get them, they're not here. Anyways, you want to do it with a radius block if you can. Very rough sandpaper. Let me go get the rest of my shit together and I'll explain in a little more detail to you. Hold on. Alright, welcome back. After some very selectful words finding this, I finally found one. It was the right size. I got a whole pack of those damn things, man. I can't find them anywhere. I've got several packs of them, in fact. The first thing I like to do is blue magic marker, because I can see blue pretty good, and just color every fret across the top of the fret. I use this fretboard protector so I don't make a mess on the fretboard. I used to do this without using anything. I just, you know, would lay down and go across the thing. But my hands worked a lot better then. Y'all know about that noise. It seems don't have any hands now. What this will do, see, when I run that radius block over these with the sandpaper, I can see exactly the frets being touched and where they're being touched or not touched. And rather than just flattening them all out flat and then put the radius back in it, this way I keep the radius in it, remove lesser fret material from the frets, and you just keep doing this until that fret radius block touches every fret all the way across each fret. Then you'll know your frets are level without really leveling them. That makes sense? I know where my protectors are, man. Now you're not going to be able to see this, I don't think, on the camera. But there you see, got some rough paper on there, number 16. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, I think you can. Just going to start here and just gently go back and forth. Do it a few times and then look, see where the glue is left. This fret, I'm only getting the ends, a little bit in the middle and the ends. This area, the upper area, and this end. These frets here, it's not even touching the middle at all. Not even touching the middle at all. So I can safely go ahead with a few more times with this. And when you get to the point all of the glue is removed, then I like to color them all over again and then do this again, and you should, the first time, should wipe all the glue off, or at least off the tops of the frets. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit. It's going to take a little bit. So like I say, I'm not going to hold you here for this, but I did want to explain that. See, if I took a big file and just flattened them out completely till they're flat, then I'd have to take even more material off, putting this radius back in. This way, I get them flat with the radius block, and lesser material is wasted. Dig it? Dig pig what I say, Ray, in the palace, Alice? Now, as you can see, there's a lot of dust fret material there, but the block is touching every fret now. Not as much in the middle, but you can see it is touching the ones it needed to touch in the center. See, not as much there. It's still touching them though, enough to get to remove the glue. Let me sweep that off. And I'm getting company with a guy picking a guitar, a lady actually picking a guitar up, and I'll bring you back. Now we just color all the frets. I swept that all off. And color all the frets blue now, and when I go over them with that block, it should touch every fret, and we'll know they're in unison with each other. Maybe they're in love, I don't know. Alright, another guitar picked up and paid for. Sucked them off. That didn't sound right, did it? I sucked it off and colored the frets blue again already. Sucked this off too. Now, when I run this block over there, let's do it kind of gently like. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not, but it should touch every fret, across every fret, and remove all of the glue on the very top. And it is. All done! No glue left. Well, I didn't come back here far enough. There's a little bit there, but I'm not sanding. I'm just, yeah, there we go. That's perfect, man. Now the frets are leveled, and you still got all this fret material in the center of the radius. Don't take a file and grind them all down flat. Don't do that anymore, man. You're wasting a lot of material there. Use a radius block. Put some really, this is, oh man, I forget what I did. I put that on there a long time ago. I did the old Luthier's trick. You can take stick masking tape, painter's tape to your block and to the back of the sandpaper, and then super glue it, stick it on there, and that way when you get ready to change the paper again, you just peel it off and throw it away. The grit, I can't remember what grit this is. I think it's like a 650, or maybe it's 850, I don't remember. It's pretty rough though. And cue ball made the scene. So that's good. Now we're ready for crown vials. I'll give you a break here just a minute before I start on this. I use these files. They're diamond grit, and plus they cut in both directions. Okay, I got to color them blue again before I even start. Sweep it off before I do that. If you buy these files, I got them at StuMac, I think, and I don't know if they still sell them or not. But if they do, and you want one to do a guitar with, I got a medium here. This, see what it says, medium? That's backwards. What I'm seeing in the camera's backwards. Hopefully you can read it. Medium, okay? It's 150 grit and 300 grit. There's the 150 grit. I pop it out, turn it around, shake so bad I can't stick it in there, and there's the 300 grit. I'm going to start with the 150 and go down every fret, then swap this over, go every fret again, color them blue each time, and well, let me get geared up and do that and I'll explain it better. What I was going to say was, my mind's all over the place, man. Too much company, too much going on. What I was going to say, if you buy these files, like if they even still sell them, and you buy these, and you want one for a guitar, don't get the medium one, because it's way too big. Get the narrow one. It'll say narrow right there. I've got one here, but I probably can't find it. Well, I got to find it because I need it on this guitar. I don't know if they do that. These are very expensive files, and I don't know if they do that to make you say, oh shit, this file's too big, and you just keep it and order another one like I did, and then another one. Anyways, keep that in mind if you buy these files. If they even still make them, I don't know. Hold on. Sucked it all off again. Color the frets blue again. And then I'll bring you back and tell you why. You probably already know it. I know some of you do. It's been here a while. Maybe some of you don't. I'll tell you. Alright, colored all the frets blue yet again. And I'm going to take this file here. I'm going to take 150 grit first. And you want to file, when you got to put your crown back in there because the frets are flat. I mean, flat city. I can see it and I'm blind. Like I said, I colored them all blue again. And I want to leave a very, very minute line across the top of each fret. These files cut in fast. Man, that's some soft fret wire too. Knock the shavings out now and then. You want to do each fret and leave a very thin line across the very top of the fret. I call it a fret cap or a crown cap. That way, you know, if you file that blue completely away, then you can take more off of this fret than this one, or more off of this one than one down here, or too much off of one down here. If you keep the blue line on there, we know they're flat. So if you keep the blue line, keep a thin blue line across the top of the crown, a crown cap, then you'll know your frets are still flat and in unison with each other. Wow, those frets are soft, man. That is some soft material. Shame on you, Martin. If Martin really did supply the wood or the fret wire. I like to come over on the sides. Let me show you here. These frets make very fast work of this. Right here, I like to come over on the side a little bit like that. Come across a little bit on that side. If you have any sharp edges left, this don't have now, because we don't address that. But if you do have any left, this helps remove them. Here, I'll show you again. I think you can see the file okay. See what I mean? You can hear the file biting in when I do that too. A little bit more up here. Now see, I got to go down every fret, sweep it off, and there's all kind of fret material laying there on each side of each fret I did. Get it all the way down, sweep it off again, clean it up, suck it off again, and then color and blue again, and swap this over to 300 grit and do it all again. And every time, the next time, I'll leave even a thinner line than what's on there right now. In fact, I'll get you and show you this, what I'm talking about right now. Now see here. Let me get one, yeah, one right in the center of your screen. I think you can see that little blue line. The reflections on it. I don't know, should have done more. I can never get this to show up in the camera right. Or you can see the ones I haven't done yet, still all blue. There is a very minute thin line. There, maybe you can see it a little bit. By doing that on every fret, I can't make it show up on every fret. There it is in that one. You keep your flatness. So obviously I'm not going to keep you here for me doing this whole thing. I've got a whole lot of videos showing you how to do this step by step even. I'm going to go ahead and finish this tonight. At least finish one run of it. Now I might come back and swap the file over in the morning and do the second run. But hopefully that'll give you some ideas if you work on your frets or someone else's frets. Get your radius tool, get the radius of that fretboard, get a radius block that matches that, and put some really rough sandpaper on it, mark them, and do it just like, well, I showed you already. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys and ladies. And, I don't know, we're going to get to hear this thing before too awful much longer. I still got to go, after I do that, all the erasers. I might bring you back for that. People have been asking me about my erasers, fret erasers. I love those things, man. Sandpaper and different grits, that's old school. I'm not going back to it. These fret erasers, well, I'll explain it in another video. Boy, that feels good, man. Feels good. Thanks for watching. Cheers. I'll see you next time.